Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for Monday, January 8th, 2018. We have a light mixed precipitation threat that's going to be moving through the region this afternoon and evening. Unfortunately, right around the time of the evening rush hour, that's going to lead to the threat for some snow, sleet, and some freezing rain. Again, we're talking about light, but it doesn't take much to create some problems when it comes to ice. So we're going to have to watch this very carefully. Temperatures are the warmest that we've seen in quite some time. We are rising into the, let's see here, mid to upper teens over the northern interior, upper teens to lower 20s along the coast. This has been our high temperatures, and for the first time in a while, it is our low temperatures this morning, and we'll be rising into the upper 20s to lower 30s by the time we get to this afternoon, leading to that threat for mixed precipitation, because what's basically happening is warm air is starting to invade the region. We're getting out of this strong Arctic pattern and going into more of a transient pattern, which basically means we go cold and warm, for the next couple of weeks. Not any sustained warmth that may be advertised at other locations, but I will tell you this. Definitely, you're going to need a wide variety of coats and hats with this weather pattern because it is going to be warm one day and then rather chilly the next. But with that, there are some caveats, so we're going to talk about that, especially for the end of the week. On the radar here, we have this precipitation approaching. It's running into a lot of dry air, okay, especially around 925 millibars. And so what that basically means for you is that a lot of this has more bark than bite, and a lot of this is not reaching the ground. So when it moves through our neck of the woods, yes, there will be some light precipitation, starting off with snow, changing over to sleet and freezing rain. It's going to be very light, and it's going to move pretty quickly. Basically between 1 p.m. and 6 p.m., for the Philadelphia Metro, and basically 3 p.m. to about 8 p.m. for the New York City Metro, Connecticut, and Long Island, can expect this period of precipitation. On the infrared satellite picture, you can see this low pressure system is going to stay to the south and not impact us, and this cold front is what's going to be moving through. So it's going to move through, produce a few periods of snow, sleet, and freezing rain showers, and then it will exit. By the time we get to about 8, 9 o'clock in the evening, dry conditions will be in place, but there's a caveat to that as well. I'm a bit concerned with this warm air moving over a very well-sustained snowpack that we will see the potential for locally dense fog developing throughout the region, especially where your snowpack is heaviest, let's say for central and southern New Jersey or for portions of Long Island. So that's certainly something that we have to watch out for, with the potential for fog getting rather dense and at times falling to zero in terms of visibility. So let's dive into this forecast for today. Again, waves of snow, sleet, and freezing rain will be moving through the region, relatively light, about a trace to maybe 5/100ths of a tenth of precipitations expected. So we're not really looking at anything significant, but it will be a little slippery for your evening commute. Temperatures will rise into the upper 20s to lower 30s for highs. For tonight, skies will clear. Again, watch out for that potential for some locally dense fog. Look for low temperatures, not really moving all that much, in the upper 20s to lower 30s. For tomorrow afternoon, high pressure will be in control. Scattered cloud covers expected. Again, watch out for that fog. High temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s. So again, you have that warm air moving over a very cold snowpack. This snowpack has been sitting in temperatures that are 5, 10 degrees, for highs, and it's solidified, and some of it is become ice. And so you have this warm air moving over it, and it can create some problems. On Wednesday, high pressure will start to exit the region, and with that, we'll have, again, scattered cloud cover to broken cloud cover with some threats for fog. Look for temperatures to range from the lower to mid-teens for lows, because the winds are going to be light, and you're going to have the potential for some radiation cooling in some areas where we have clearing. High temperatures in the mid to upper 30s again. So you can see, yes, it's a warmer pattern, but it's not incredibly warm. We're still talking about temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. Then things get interesting for the end of the week. We're having an area of low pressure that's going to be developing down here in the southern plains, and a cold front here. Now, ahead of this whole process, with some strong polar air building into the northern plains and heading towards the east coast, ahead of that we are going to warm up. Now, with that, I'm staying below a lot of the model guides here and going with the temperature range for Thursday with overcast skies, areas of fog, low temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s, high temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s. Don't be surprised if many locations stay below 50 degrees because of those overcast clouds. Now, on Friday, this cold front will be moving through the region, so look for periods of rain, and this is where things get interesting from Friday into Saturday. We're watching this low pressure system here. I suspect that this low pressure system is going to be further east, and further east means colder. So the temperature forecast is rather volatile here. So on Friday, you're talking about high temperatures, let's say in the upper 40s to lower 50s, but that's towards midnight. And then you have temperatures falling throughout the day through the 40s and eventually into the 30s. So the question here on Saturday is if this low pressure system is further east, then you're talking about temperatures falling through the 30s and this rain changing over to snow. So we're watching that very carefully. So this is a highly volatile and uncertain forecast that has a great deal of change in terms of not only precipitation amount, but also type and also the temperatures as they fall. We've seen this before. We saw this around Christmas Eve or so, where there was that low pressure system cold front. That cold front moved through, and then a low pressure tracked up the coast along the cold front boundary, and there was a question of how fast that cold air is going to build in. Now we're doing this with a snowpack, albeit melting, but still some lingering cold air already in place, and we're going to see just how fast that cold air can be reintroduced. So that's going to be very interesting for the end of the week and into the start of the weekend to see how that all evolves. And then by the time Sunday comes around, scattered cloud cover is expected. Now look at these temperatures. On Sunday, lows in the mid to upper 20s, highs in the lower to mid 30s. And on Monday, with high pressure and complete control, could see a scattered snow shower. Low temperatures in the mid to upper teens and high temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. So you can see the strength of this polar air mass is going to be invading the region. That's going to knock us right back down into the temperatures below 30 degrees for a high once again. So the good news is that that won't last long as we continue on this wave of cold, warm as we move forward through about January 20th or so. That is your forecast discussion for today. Thank you for following NYNJPA weather, and as always, stay safe out there.